Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are getting into a book talk favorite, dark romance. But first, quick heads up, if you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, including after shows and tons of bonus content. If you prefer audio only, Spreaker listeners, you're in luck. After shows and exclusives are now available right there. If you want more bookish banter, join our community on the Book Club's app, and don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. And speaking of community, I'm thrilled to welcome back my fantasy and romance ride or die co-host Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited you're here. Are you ready
I'm
for
so
this?
ready for this.
Girl, okay. So you can find us both online in all the usual spots. The links for everything are in the show notes, so please click around, follow us, do all the things, and we're just going to get to it. But before we do, I want to remind you that, as always with Book Chats, we talk full spoilers here, so you have been warned. Spoiler alert. Today, we are discussing the book Lights Out, written by Nevesa Allen. The audiobook is narrated by Alina Wolf and Jacob Morgan. It's duet style, by the way. Everyone loves that about it. It was published on February 14th, 2024 by Zando, and later that year by Slow Burn in audio. The paperback is 388 pages. The unabridged audio is 13 hours and 38 minutes. Casey, would you kindly share the synopsis?
I want someone with a soul as black as night. Someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. Trauma nurse Allie doesn't need any more kinks. She likes the one she's landed on just fine. To her, nothing could top the masked men she follows online. Unless one of those men was shirtless, heavily tattooed, and waiting for her in her bedroom. She dreams about being hunted by one in particular, of him chasing her down and doing delicious dark things to her willing body. She never could have guessed that by sending one drunken text, those dreams would become her new reality. I want things most people don't, craving darkness and depravity instead of light and love. Josh has spent his life avoiding the limelight, but his online persona is another story. At night, he posts masked thirst traps for his millions of fans to drool over, but one of his followers has caught his eye, Allie. After reading a comment begging him to break into her house wearing a mask, he decides to take her up on her offer. Together, Allie and Josh live out their darkest fantasies, unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone else, someone with far more sinister intentions than a little light stalking. As Josh turns from predator into protector and the stakes heighten, he must ask himself how far he's willing to go for the woman he's obsessed with.
Okay. So, high level, when you finished this book...
Can I confess something in this safe space?
Sure, of course.
I skipped the epilogue. I finished the book, got to the end, read the first page of the epilogue, and just said, okay, I'm done.
No, thank you. Yeah. You know what? You didn't miss anything. And when I tell you... You're going to be like, the fuck.
Okay, please tell me, because that's where I'm at.
Okay. So I'll tell you at the end.
Okay.
I'm going to make you have to sit there with anticipation.
I have to anticipate the epilogue ending, which I know is just sex. But
yeah, it is basically just sex with some other things that I don't like. But anyway, so does that mean you liked it? You thought it was good?
It was okay. It was very... So, masked men, not my kink, not my thing. Also, like, it's well done and well written, but it was very much a self-insert fanfic story that, no thank you. Like, anybody who likes masked men will love this story. But, and maybe I need to talk to my therapist about this, but I'm going to talk to you. It was not violent enough for me. I thought this was going to be a lot more violent, and I was disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess my little quick take is no new kink unlocked. Absolutely no new kinks. Because I was like, I don't think this is my thing or something.
Yeah, no.
I think I'll take serial killers getting together.
Oh,
over
absolutely.
This. I agree with you. It was not bad. It was okay. It wasn't as fast paced as I wanted. It took me like almost 2 weeks to get this
It
done.
was slow.
It was slow to me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I gotta finish this book." And then every time, like, some of those intimate scenes would come
Mhm.
up, I'm like, "Oh, let's see what they talking about." And it's just kind of like, "Oh, I don't know." Just Allie likes a lot of things, and so does Josh, and he's figuring out as he's going along. He's got kinks he didn't know he had. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, this feels like a D-list movie, like on Passion
Ooh.
Flix or something.
I mean, I'm
Passion
gonna
Flix
say
level.
this is really mean, but, like, when I was in high school and you would, there were the websites, like AO3 is the one everybody remembers, but there's also fanfiction.net. I know I'm
Mhm.
aging myself a lot right now.
I used to read it, so
But yeah, this felt very much like something I would find on fanfiction.net, where somebody's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I met Harry Styles and he took one look at me and now we're in love and now we're having all of this sex." And, like, that's this, except he's a TikTok star and they're
Mhm.
having kinky sex, right? Like, it was so modern and so it's all about the TikTok. It's all about the masked men, and he has to talk about the videos
Mhm.
he's taking, and he's still posting all the videos, and he's doing all this, and now she's popular, and we have to read the comments with her, and
She's getting haters and followers
yes.
and all that stuff because she's hooking
She's
up with
the
the
quote
masked
unquote
man.
most hated woman on the internet. And I was like, there's only like maybe 1,000 people who know who you are. Like, that's not the most hated
That
woman on the internet.
that section of TikTok is very small.
Very small.
So let me tell you, I have stumbled across it
Hmm.
before, and I've seen some of those thirst trap videos, and it doesn't do anything for me. I'm
Same.
like, what's going on here?
I've watched like approximately 3 of them, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
like
it, I'm
nothing.
done.
I got nothing. I would definitely not be leaving comments and, texting my little hookup, hey, you want to do this?
Yeah, no.
That was a mess. I'm like, shit. She was desperate, I guess, in that moment to send that text, but
Drunk and
face
horny
plant.
and desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was kind of realistic in the sense that, like, yeah, I know people who would do that, but also, like, I just wanted something more from a story. The tagline is the couple that slays together stays together. So I was like, okay, they're going to hook up, then they're going to start killing people, right?
Mhm.
And I really assumed, like, I was hoping that Allie was going to tell him, like, oh my God, I wanted to kill this guy. And then they would, like, plan his murder together and become serial killers. Like,
No.
that's what I thought was going to happen.
No, not at all. Josh killed him by
By
accident.
accident!
By fucking accident, and then he proceeds to, like, toss his cookies because he couldn't believe he killed someone. Like, for
With
real.
duct tape!
Yeah.
Like, for the love of
That's, like,
God.
the most doofus move
It
ever.
was!
He's like, "I don't even really remember putting the duct tape, over the nose and
And
mouth."
the mouth. Like, I did the mouth, of course, and then I guess I got the nose too, I guess, maybe. And I was like,
He's a doofus.
that was, yeah.
Like, what kind of garbage is that? I guess, whatever. We'll roll
I
with
mean,
it.
accidents happen, but I just,
Yeah.
again, with the blurb and the tagline, I thought they were gonna be like Butcher and Blackbird, serial killers. And I was really
No.
expecting a lot of dark, twisty, psychological stuff. I thought he was going to go on this whole thing where he's like, maybe I am like my dad, but maybe I can be,
No.
a serial killer who goes after really bad people. Again, like Butcher and Blackbird and all the stuff we saw there.
No, he's just a gym bro with childhood trauma.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, exactly.
Like, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. How much the author reminded us that she worked out and he worked out and how fine his body was.
Constantly. Good Lord. I felt like I needed to go to the gym too.
Hey,
Like,
I do go to the gym, but not like these two. I'm like, get the
no.
fuck out of here with you two. I don't know what's going on there, but they're like obsessed with working out and
Mhm.
stuff. And she's like, At the end, they have this little hunt, which I'll tell you about later. That's at the end. But she's like, I even skipped some of my regular workouts and I went running, trying to get faster and stronger. Like, it's like, the fuck? Shut up. That's what I felt like saying. But I kept waiting on her to do something really vicious.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't either.
No.
Like when that guy, this is another brat comes into the hospital and he's like a rapist and he's killed people and he's acting like a spoiled rich brat.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking to her sideways. I'm like, okay, she like threatens him. I'm like, okay, she gonna slap him in the face, she gonna punch him out.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, she's going to stab him with a scalpel and then like he's going to have to clean the cameras and it's going to be a whole thing. Or she's going to go home and be like, I need to kill this guy. And they'll like plan a murder. Like, I just wanted it to be so much darker than accidental death with duct tape.
But look, this was crazy though. She's supposedly so strong between her jiu-jitsu workouts and whatever she knows how to do. I'm like, I wanted her to see her skills on the paper.
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
I thought she could have she seemed like no man could beat her.
Again, there was a lot of setup for it to get really dark.
Yeah.
And then
it did.
And then even afterwards, she's like, well, I guess I'll call my family who I haven't spoken to in like 10 years and they'll clean this up for me. But I still have to complain about them doing all the work because now I don't feel satisfied. And like, is this really taken care of? I have to take care of myself and blah, 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 blah. And it was just such a letdown.
It was. I thought it would be a lot darker. And I guess the dark parts were just the kinky sex,
and the stalking. I guess stalking is a little
dark. So look, I feel like Allie was the kind of person that did not know what she liked originally. And I think she thought she would like something like that. But then when it came to fruition and this guy really was in her house, I think she was genuinely freaked out for a minute.
Absolutely.
And then she's like, oh, wait.
Oh, wait, I think you're hot.
I did just say I wanted this, didn't I? And it just seemed like, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, she wanted all of the things that happened to her. But I did not buy it fully. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like she wanted things to happen, but she didn't. And I feel like she was trying to impress or I don't know. Show she could one up him. I don't know what her deal was, but it didn't feel.
It was very fast, very, she even talked about how she was like, oh, I haven't really done much of anything in my life. Like she hadn't hooked up in over 2 months or whatever. She hadn't taken vacation in 2 years. She's just like, I'm going to focus on going to the gym and going to work. And that's it.
Yeah.
And liking TikToks. Like that's my whole life. And then it was her TikTok come to life. And she was like, yay, I'm living the dream. But also, you're right. It was like there was so much more that could have happened with the story. And I was very disappointed with that.
Yeah, that's how I felt. When it was all over, said and done, I'm like, And I just did not love them as a couple. You know how I am about the couples. I need to want to root for them hard.
Yes.
And I just felt like it was so surface, even though they did have some somewhat serious conversations. It didn't go as deep as it should have.
Oh yeah, no, it needed to go deeper. It needed to be a lot more than just the physical. Because they're both just like, oh my God, this person is the hottest person I've ever seen in my life. Let's bang. And then that was like, okay, no, I want to say I did appreciate the fact that he held her that one night. Like that was super cute. But then they jumped right into sex. So like they had some moments. And then it was just like, okay, now it's just the physical.
So she has this, and another time she has this really hard day at work. It's snowing. He doesn't want her to drive. He breaks into her car. He's like, he won't speak.
Oh God, that was so annoying.
Because he doesn't want her to know who he is at first. And she ends up like giving him a blowjob on the way home.
And stabbing him in the hand.
And I'm like, what was the point of this? What are we doing? Like,
honestly, I was just laughing at that point. I was like, okay, this is just absurd. And I feel like you're going for the absurdity. So I'm going to laugh.
He brings her snacks. She eats the snacks. And then she's like, okay, I guess I could, do a little something.
Give you a
And she's
little
like, it's for
reward
me.
back.
Like,
Yeah.
lies, it was not for her. But okay, if you want me to believe that, okay, I will try to believe that. But I don't know, it was almost just funny, but not in a
Ha ha.
hearty laugh kind of
Yeah.
way. It was just like, I don't know, I just didn't love them. And then I also came to the realization that, and I kind of knew this before, but this really solidified it for me. Like, if we want to compare to the previous books that we
Mhm.
read, which are the Butcher and Blackbird
Mhm.
books, I like a long game. I
Mhm.
like a slow burn with a lot of angst,
Mhm.
a lot of
Mhm.
attraction, a lot of heat, and then can we get there?
Yes.
And this went down between them in like 2 weeks.
Uh,
And that's why I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. At least in Butcher and Blackbird, they're like, it's been 6 months, it's been a year,
Mhm.
we've known each other this long, and then they fall into it. All of the characters kind of knew each other a long time. In
Yes.
each book, they weren't like brand spanking new to each
Mhm.
other. Well, maybe the last one kind of, but not really, because time had
Yeah.
passed before they actually got together. But I guess it just solidified that I don't like quick hookups.
Mhm. It
It's not
really
my thing.
depends on, 1, the characters, and 2, the story, right? Like, if it's a quick hookup, but there's a really strong external plot going on, and there's a lot of other stuff that really heightens what's going on, you know? I can get behind that better. But when it's just, we're banging. Oh no, somebody's
Hmm.
breaking into your house. Oh no, we accidentally killed him. Oh no, we contacted the mob and they're taking care of him. Now we're just gonna bang again. Like, it's
Yeah,
that external plot is so tiny and so
so lightweight.
lightweight that it
It's not
doesn't
enough
balance.
going
Yeah, it's
on.
not enough to go
Right.
on.
Yeah, and then they fell in love with each other so quick.
Mhm.
"I love you. I love you." I'm like, "Shut up." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You guys are just in lust with
I
each
was
other.
about to
You're
say,
just
yeah, no,
banging each
that's
other's
lust.
brain out. That's all you're doing." I don't
That's
know.
lust. That's just
Right.
sexual attraction. You're hot. Let's keep banging. You're making
I
me
know,
do
but,
weird things.
the thing is this, I feel like if you want to have a book where
Mhm.
it's just about the sex,
Mhm.
it could just be about the
Mhm.
sex. But when you try to turn it into this, like, love of my life relationship that
Mm.
just doesn't gel,
Yeah.
it's almost a misstep for me.
Yep.
Just call a spade, be what it is.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
So, I
Yes.
think that was kind of a miss to me.
I agree.
I don't know.
100%. It was just, it was what it was, and it wasn't
Yeah.
enough.
Mhm.
And that blurb, I want to come back to that blurb because they made it seem like, oh, she's got the attention of somebody else and he's going to have to figure out how to protect her. And I'm like, bitch, it lasted an hour. Like,
Yeah.
maybe.
So, also, I find a huge fault in how he even found her.
The new guy or,
The, um, the serial killer
yeah.
kid. So, at the hospital, in the
Mm-hmm.
scene where she's like, "I'll go in there and deal with
Mm-hmm.
him." She says, "I'm nurse whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And then it said, "Okay, this name is just a
A
name we
fake
use for
name. Yep.
people." Right. And then someone comes in, one of the guards, and says her first name.
Yep.
He says, "Allie, are you okay?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "What?"
Don't say
But
my
that's
name.
all he had
Yep.
was Allie, whatever the fake name was.
Mm-hmm.
How did he find her?
I mean, with hospitals, there are staff lists. So he could have looked up every single woman who has an A first name because her
Yes.
name is like actually Alyssa or something, but she goes by
Yeah.
Allie. So yeah, no, it was a little bit of a like,
It's a big stretch to me because this guy wasn't like Josh. He wasn't a computer
yeah, he's
hacker or
not a really
programmer.
good
He
hacker.
No, all he did was Google people. That's okay, so they sneak in
Mhm,
to try to erase all his stuff from showing that he was looking her up.
mhm.
That would have been a perfect time to explain how he
Yep,
found her,
yep.
but the author missed the opportunity to explain
The
that
author's just like, oh
because
yeah, he has just a bunch of information about Allie and her other coworker who was,
Mhm.
tiny and dark hair, and like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
I don't know, I wanted some more, because I like to, sometimes I'll nitpick things if it's a clear hole.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
well,
No, that's definitely a plot hole that I would have flagged, so.
yeah. Because I'm like, she didn't even say her last name. No, neither did anyone else
Yeah.
before they got into it, and she got dragged out of there.
Mhm.
So how did he even know where to start? And do they have? I don't think you can just
I
find a
don't know if they
list
have them
of nurses'
publicly.
names.
Yeah.
No, you have to
You'd
hack
have to
and get
hack it
it.
to get in there. Maybe he paid somebody to hack it, and they'll find that information later. I don't know.
I mean, I would buy it
Yeah.
since he was rich.
Yeah.
Just give me the line.
Yeah.
Toss me the line to satisfy it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, what else?
Okay, so she did toss in the line about this, but Josh's roommate.
Mm,
Do you think he recognized the thirst trap picture to play matchmaker between Josh and Allie?
you might have.
Because Allie had, like, there was that thought where she's like, oh, did he do this? I wonder. And then just, it was never brought up again.
I think it's left up to us to guess because the author clearly brought it up
Mhm.
via Allie for a
Reasons.
reason,
Mhm.
although we never came back around to confirm or deny that
Yeah.
was the case. So I think maybe anything is possible, or he's really that self-absorbed he just didn't see it.
I think he's a little more intuitive than they give him credit for. And, like, if your roommate who stays at home all day has very distinctive tattoos, and I'm sure he's been inside Josh's bedroom at some point, so he may have recognized the bed or the couch or whatever he was on.
Mhm.
Like, I think the roommate knew. And I think he was
Yeah.
like, hey, look at this picture my hookup sent me.
I think it's a good chance. I think it's a good chance that he did it on purpose. He said
Mhm.
he was looking for someone else to get some of that attention off of him.
Yes.
Share the love,
Mhm.
and hey, here's a perfect opportunity. I mean, even after Josh said she was coming over, and he's like, "Oh, you guys like each other." He's like
Yeah. Oh,
really
no, he was
excited for
very
that.
excited for them. Like, that is a
Yeah,
good
so
friend.
yeah, he's totally possible, but it is a little odd. Like
Mhm.
they used to sleep together,
Yeah.
and now you're with my friend. But
Also,
I
I
guess
thought it was
whatever.
odd that they judged him for going to the gym all the time when the two of them
Mhm,
do the gym just as much.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah, weird,
that
right?
that was weird. You shouldn't judge him.
Mhm.
You're the same.
Gym bros.
Yes.
And actually, it's so funny to me because while I was kind of trying to figure out what kind of friendship they had, it felt a little weird. I'm
It
like,
was
why
a
is he so
weird
obsessed
friendship.
with you like that? Like, you don't follow your friend around and like run off his little girlfriends that you don't like. That was
Uh-uh.
very
No, it was weird.
strange.
It was
It had a weird vibe.
very
Yeah.
controlling.
Mhm.
He was like, yeah, he showed up at one of my hookups at 3 a.m. to lecture me. And I was like, that's not what a friend does.
That's a red flag all
Oh,
day,
all
every
day.
day.
Yeah.
And even Allie thinks she's okay with this.
No.
But maybe for now you are, but I don't know if you'll always be. That's annoying as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even go to work without you hacking into the work uh
And
monitors
watching
and
me on the
cameras.
cameras, like, no, that's creepy.
That's very creepy. She's got a serious kink up for that then, because I would be so annoyed.
I
Like,
would,
can I get away from you,
yeah,
please?
absolutely. I would hate every minute of it. I would,
Yeah.
uh-uh.
Like, is he gonna throw you in the basement and lock you in there? I don't
Maybe.
know. Yeah, it's not cute. Not
No,
cute to me.
not at all.
But she loved it, so I guess that's what matters.
Or was she just dickmatized? Like, was she
I
just
think,
so
well,
horny for good dick that
and supposedly it was so big, so I get so many laughs out of
I
that
mean,
because I'm
yes.
like, that's why it's made
It's
up
what,
in
like this
fiction.
big? She can barely wrap her
Yeah, she
fingers around it.
I'm like, "Get out of here, girl." She like, "No."
Yeah, no. It was ridiculous. But again, like, that
I mean,
comes back to the fan fiction. Like, this was
yeah.
definitely the self-insert happy fan fiction where you're like, okay, I'm a person who likes watching the mask talk stuff. So here's gonna be my mask man coming to find me, and we'll go on this light little adventure, and everything's great, everybody's happy, everything's perfect.
Masked men with huge muscles, tattoos, big dicks. That's it.
That's it. That's life. Here we go.
And then she threw in a big brain so that we'd feel better about him. So,
and his trauma. We have to
And
can't
his
forget the
trauma.
trauma. So then you feel bad for him to be like, oh no, poor little boy. Had a terrible childhood. Maybe he'll become a serial killer. No,
Maybe
he just
he
accidentally kills people with duct tape of all fucking things.
And he's sad about it.
Yes, and he throws up. Which, I mean, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
But, like, I just wanted something darker, and this was not it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the ingredients were there, they just weren't cooked right. The wrong meal was made.
Yes. Yes.
Like, the roots were all there. All the components were right.
It's like you think you're gonna get, like, double fudge brownies, but instead you have oatmeal raisin cookies.
You're like, what?
And you're like, okay, yes, it's flour, sugar, eggs, but it's not. It's not working.
Yeah. It's not what you expected at all. You were expecting one thing and you got something else.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I think now is a great time to take a quick break. You guys check out these commercials. By listening to those, you are supporting the podcast. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the book review journal as well, available on Amazon right now. So click around, do all the things, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back.
Yay!
Where should we continue our lights out conversation?
I don't even know. Like, we've covered most of the plot. Other than the sex, and I don't really want to get into the sex stuff.
Okay, so it's after the commercial. People, if you hung on and you're still listening, you can get some of the sex stuff. We'll try to keep it not too horrible so we don't get flagged anywhere. But the knife kink thing?
Oh God, yeah, no.
I'm like, what's going on with that? So he puts a knife in the mattress, and you can guess what she does with it. Ick. What's
what
up
is
with
it?
that?
Ride a horse, save a cowboy, or ride a cowboy, save a horse. Whatever that is, you know. That happened to the knife handle. Which I will say, I was very glad he sterilized it.
He did
he sterilized it. And then he put his hand there to help, like,
kind of keep the knife from coming up.
Yeah, to help protect. Yeah. So I was like, he gets gold star points for that, for both of those things. Because otherwise, this would be god awful.
Yeah, the knife thing. And then it comes up again when they're doing it, and he uses the back of the knife against her throat.
Which, what the fuck?
What's with all the knife play? Like, dude, I guess,
I know some people really like it,
I guess. I just get, you're one accident. You're so close to one accident, and you'll end up in the ER.
With both of you being sweaty and moving a lot, and he specifically said at one point, like, this knife was sharp enough to cut through bone.
Yeah. So in the scene where he holds the knife to her throat, he's like ramming her from the back, pulling her hair. The knife comes around. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you could kill someone by accident.
Yeah.
And then later he's like, oh, it was the backside of the knife. She's like, okay. I'm like, oh God.
You could still slip and slide and maybe stab or nick an artery. Like, the tip is right there. It could fall and cut her hand. Like, clearly. I would be happier with fake knives.
Danger.
Like,
yeah, I don't like that kind of danger. And then like all the things were thrown in. So there was like some dominance in there. He's like spanking her at one point. It's like everything. He likes everything. He's using like butt plugs, and then he later says, well, maybe I'll let her use it on me. I'm like, what? He likes everything, anything and everything. There's nothing
good for them
that he doesn't like.
Have fun, but also like
it's all over the place. Like, I don't know. I just think it just was for shock value.
Yeah. Oh,
it didn't really. But again, if it was just going to be a book about crazy sex, then so be it. Let it be that. And maybe you two can just go wild and do all the crazy things that you thought you might want to do.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, I don't know, it just didn't gel. It didn't go smoothly. Like when this stuff is happening, I'm like, what? Okay, I guess.
I guess this is fine. Okay, you're pulling out a knife again. Okay.
I guess he's choking her sometimes. He's like doing all these anything under the sun.
Yeah.
Anything, any kink you can imagine, it's this guy's speed.
Yeah.
And her too, apparently. She down for anything, apparently. And again, that's okay if that's your thing, but I just don't think it fit what the author was trying to accomplish with this couple. I don't know. It felt weird.
Again, it was just very surface level. Like you were talking about earlier, it's very surface level. They're just in lust with each other. They just want the physicality. They just want this extra kinky kind of sex so they can get it off harder. Like it wasn't a good BDSM story. Really builds so that you feel like the character growth is happening during the sex scenes, right? You feel like the character, if they're a sub and they're really falling into that trust and they're really coming to terms with, okay, like, I can trust you as my dom. I can close my eyes.
But see, that's it. You telling this conversation, you saying this right now is, I think, why it was off to me because this wasn't served up as a BDSM.
Oh no, this is
the characters
let's
weren't
be
acting
kink.
Like right, they weren't acting like they were BDSM. They weren't acting, so it was kind of like them just playing around and trying shit.
Yes. It's very much like, hey, we're the kitties in the kiddie pool with our little floaties. Let's just jump into the kinky sex stuff. Because like they had those conversations where they're like, we don't use safe words. Just say stop and I'll stop, which is good. But like there's a safe word for a reason. Especially if you're going into DubCon, like, because
which is what they attempted here. But I guess, because I guess supposedly when it's done, like how you expect it to be done, the word stop may utter out of your mouth.
Yes.
And you may not actually mean stop, but it just is like a reaction to say stop.
You may say no or stop just out of a knee-jerk response.
Right, which is why you have a secondary word, because the secondary word means no for real.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then if you don't stop after that, then it becomes rape.
Right, then it's a problem. Yeah. But to not have a say, like, so I kind of like the idea of what she was going with it, but again, it's just like not having a safe word. I like the idea that he'll just stop when she says stop, end of story. But that again just shows that they're playing around. They're just playing around and trying shit. That's it.
Yeah. They don't really know what they're doing. It's just like, we're just going to have fun with each other. Whereas there are a lot of rules with BDSM for a reason, for safety purposes. Like, it's always safe, sane, consensual.
Yeah.
And if you're not safe, sane, and consensual, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, they're really walking that line. So I'll tell you a little bit about the epilogue now.
I've been waiting with bated breath.
The epilogue, they decide to rent a little cabin in the woods and they're going to go out there and have a hunt where he hunts her down. And the rule is he will win if he can hunt her down under a certain timeline and get his dick in there.
Oh, God.
That's the rule.
Get his dick in.
Yes. If it's inside, it counts. Okay. It does not count if it's not inside. So the whole thing, they have a couple of rules. Like they have their trackers turned on each other in case somebody gets lost, but you can't check the tracker, right?
Okay.
And another rule was like if you can't find them in an hour, then you can check the tracker. So what was another rule? Oh yeah, so like no dirty play. So you can't like throw dirt in someone's eyes or something like that. But basically, it was a free for all. Like so, she's running, he's chasing, and it gets to the point where he finds her. She like. They're like fighting each other. So they're not like punching to hurt, but they're like fighting. They're slapping each other around and it's all crazy because they're like she's trying to escape him to keep running away, but he's trying to restrain her. And I'm like, if anyone saw you guys. Yeah, no, it looks crazy. So she's flailing, he's chasing. It sounds ridiculous. And then finally when he catches up to her, again, they're like in this like creek area. She's thinking about using karate moves on him, but she's like, oh, I really don't want to hurt him that bad, so I'll just continue this. And then next thing you know, he wins the game like seconds before her watch goes off.
Of course.
And so that happens, and then they get up and they're like, okay, let's go back and do some more stuff at the cabin. Yay. They're skipping back, they're a little bit scratched up. He's like, oh, I got a scratch, because they're out there in the woods. Oh, what a mess. And she's like, oh, next time we need to bring backpacks. And he's like, for sex toys? And she's like, no, for a first date.
Oh, that's good.
And then he looks at her, and she's like, well, I guess we could put sex toys too, basically. Okay, fine. So they get back. They're like, okay, I'm going to shower. They walk in. It is a clusterfuck, toilet paper everywhere. Like they've been TP'd inside. And they're like, oh my God. They're thinking, I don't know what they're thinking, but then he yells, the cats.
Oh no.
Apparently they got a little girl cat, their daughter, who is a menace to society and fights with the other cats. And she's in there running around like chicken with the head cut off with the toilet paper. And then the other cat pounces, and it's a cat fight.
Oh God.
Don't stop the cats from fighting. And then they start talking about how many real kids they're going to have.
Oh no.
How many? You got pet kids. So how many real kids?
Oh no.
Now this is where things just totally, I want to just roll right onto the page. As they start talking about, I forgot the word he used, but he's like basically 8 kids. And she's like, 2. 8 kids. And she's like, 2. He's like, 5. She's like, 2. And he's like, they're like going back and forth. She's like, look, mess around, it's going to be none.
Yeah.
But then, he tries to persuade her by saying something like, oh, imagine me with no shirt. I got a toddler in one arm and a baby in the other arm. And apparently that's supposed to be really attractive to her. And her ovaries keep singing as they do throughout this entire book. You know how she constantly talks about how they need a second form of birth control because her ovaries are so...
That was...
So at the end, I'm like, what? WTF?
Thank God I skipped that.
WTF.
I did not miss anything.
You didn't, because that just... If you guys are unaware, if this is your first time listening, that is something... I hate babies at the end of a story.
Same.
I hate babies for the reason of, like, you cannot have a happy relationship without some rugrats running around. And the fact that this is like the author kept bringing this up over and over again through the book about pregnancy and all these things. And I'm like, oh,
and calling the cat like, their son, and we need mommy and daddy time.
Yes. And it was almost another kink. Like maybe they're treating it like a kink or something.
I mean, it is.
I don't know.
It's bordering or kind of like into the breeding kink, which is,
I hate that.
Yeah, no.
I don't like it. And that's what it was feeling like. And I just, at the end, it just was like, that is not the kind of epilogue I wanted.
I mean, thank God she wasn't pregnant, but still,
I know.
No, thank you.
But it sounded like she can't wait to get pregnant and have his little babies.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
Yeah, that was like pathetic. I just...
Yeah, no.
And personally... as they're running through the woods, and also I'm like, ew. I'm like, what world would you ever catch my ass running in the fucking woods? Fuck that.
I'm not running from the zombies when the zombie apocalypse happens. Like,
I'm not having sex in no fucking creek. They like, it's dirt in places it should not be, like sand.
Yeah, no.
Because you're having sex in a creek.
Mm-mm.
Where you're on all kind of rocks. That's not sexy.
It's not.
But they think it is. They had a blast. So I guess as long as they have fun.
Sure.
Me as the reader, I did not have fun. Like, no.
Again, like, not to yuck anybody's yum, but this is not my thing. So I will give this book to a friend who I know will like it, and I will never talk to her about it.
Actually, you know what? For that reason, it might be fun to read if you don't know what you like.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find out real fast if you like this or not.
Okay. So I have seen this around on TikTok and Instagram a couple times where people will comment under spicy book stuff and say, hey, I'm new to kinky sex. What can I read to learn what I like? And the answer is nothing. Like, absolutely the fuck no. Anything you read in fiction should just be fictional.
Fiction.
If you want to explore kink in the real world, go take a class. Go to a real dungeon. Go find a real person in the real BDSM world. Because again, what they're doing here is sensationalized fiction, right?
Yeah.
He could have stabbed her throat at any point accidentally, not meaning to. But like, that's what happens in the real world.
Yeah.
So this would be a good place for somebody to start, like, dark romance and see, okay, maybe I do like reading about this kinky stuff. But if you actually want to try it in real life, please, for the love of God, oh my God, please find like a reputable source, a dungeon, anything that's not fiction.
Yeah.
Something in real life to help you.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen in real life is not gonna be what you read on the page.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's definitely glamorized and really unrealistic in some ways. Not that I would know a whole bunch, but I can tell what's written is flowery.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It sounds crazy. Like, let me
I mean, think about...
That's a horror film. Did you know that's a horror film with dudes chasing these girls in the woods?
Yeah, that's a horror film.
Attack them. That's a horror film.
Yeah. But
not a romance.
I was gonna say, think about any time you've read a sex scene in any book, right? It's usually very flowery, very happy, and there is like nothing to clean up afterwards. They just roll over and go to sleep, and everybody's happy, and you don't have to wash the sheets the next day or that night or anything. Like, that's not realistic.
No.
So just, yeah. Kinky stuff is not realistic in fiction.
No, I mean, if you start like really thinking about half of the stuff that was going on in this book, you'll be like, "Ooh,
yeah, no,
this
should not happen in real life."
Well,
unless you have been in the kink world for like 5 years or longer, you should not do any of this.
I would not do any of this personally, but I don't know, but like I wouldn't do anything in that other book either. I wouldn't be going around for killing people for shits and giggles either. But
yes, yeah, no, we're not murderers or serial killers or
we're not
multiple
doing that.
deleters.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, yeah, it is fiction, and I guess it's okay to read all kind of things to kind of figure out at least what you like to read. But I figure I probably won't read any more of this. I don't think I will.
I'm curious to see if it's going to follow the same couple or if it's going to be a different couple each time. I hope it's a different couple.
Well, we haven't met any other couple, so if there is, I don't know how they would be intertwined.
I feel like her mafia cousins.
Oh,
or even the roommate.
Oh, yep. Look, here it is. I'm just going to go ahead and read the next one. So it says, Nico Jr.
Oh, yep. There we go.
knows Lauren is off limits. So blah, blah, blah. So I guess he is also, he's a biker guy, I guess.
A mafia biker dude? Aren't they separate? Like bike gangs and mafia?
I don't know, I guess. So let's see. When Junior looks Lauren up online, he discovers the shy, bookish girl he remembers is gone. Oh, striking, beautiful woman whose social media is filled with scantily clad pictures of herself and connected to a nearby play club.
No, thank you.
Interesting. So it's interesting, but I probably won't read it. There's no probably. I won't read it because
no,
I know it's probably going to be more
of this
breeder shit going on.
Oh, absolutely.
Who seduced who? Nah. I'm looking at the cover and I'm like, nah. Yeah, so Nico is her cousin. Yeah, we have a whole little gang of little thugs.
As soon as she brought in the 5 male cousins who are all Italian and stacked and mafia cleaners, whatever, I was like, okay, it's going to be about them, right?
Bunch of, I don't know, the head of the family. Oh my
God.
Who Josh ends up threatening at the end, which is funny.
That was funny.
Like, okay. I guess since he's killed one person now, I guess he figures he can do it again.
Just pull out the duct tape. Come here, uncle.
Duct tape. Yes, I guess he figured if he looks mean enough and he has a cold look in his eyes, he can scare him
The
off.
cold look in his eye.
Oh my God,
Good
this man
Lord.
has had people murdered.
Right. He has probably done some murdering in his past. He has helped clean up other murders. Like, he is... Yeah.
And he knows who you are. He's clocked you. He probably let you think you got away with something, but please.
Yeah. No. No.
You're a little boy. You will not win if you try to go up against him. He's like, does he know what I can do to him? I'm like, you will heck on his scouts.
Oh.
So scary.
So scary.
Oh my God. Oh, geez. Okay. I think I'm done.
I think I'm done too. Yeah.
Should we? Okay, let's rate Lights Out.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, I guess I can. I'll give it a 3. It was okay. It was entertaining enough.
Yeah.
You know, we've already talked about the things I wish were a little better.
Yeah.
But for what it is, it's fine. We kind of decided to read this as a comparison to the other stuff we were reading that was also in this category because it's supposed to be comedic, right? Comedic dark romance. And this fell short compared, for me, in my opinion, compared to Butcher and Blackbird. This fell short.
Yeah.
So 3 it is. How about you?
Same. 3 stars. There were some funny parts, but overall, it was just very not my style, not for me. Like I keep saying, I have a friend who I know she loves The Masked Men, so I know she's going to love this. And like, that's, yay, good for her. But
let some dude show up with a mask and a voice changer. I'd yank that shit off his head.
I'd be stabbing him. It's not.
Like, what the hell? Oh my God.
Yeah, no. No.
So clearly, Masked Men is not our forte.
For us. We will know in the future to skip these books.
Yeah, because we'll just be laughing at them and talking shit.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there's that.
Absolutely. God, the whole voice modulator thing. I think that would have been funny in the audiobook, but just reading it, I was annoyed.
It was funny, but I'm like, ugh, like, I just want to just yank that thing off his head. What is wrong with you?
Yep. Same.
She knows who you are already. Why are you playing these stupid games? Like, you know?
I will say, just final note, I was very happy that she figured it out as soon as she met Josh. I was like, thank God you didn't drag this out into like
But you know, it was kind of obvious. She goes over, he's got fucking full ass gloves on. Who
the fuck wears gloves in their house, right? Yeah. No,
it's a little chilly. No.
It was ridiculous, but I was like, thank God she figured that out. Because if she hadn't, I would have been real like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you, girl?
You are too dumb to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, she figured it out. It was good.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Which made all the little shenanigans, I guess, more acceptable to her because she knew who it really was.
Yeah.
So she's like, I've seen him. He's fine. So it's okay. He's not fugly under that mask. I know what he looks like. Because guaranteed, he yanked that mask off and he turned out to be somebody really nasty looking. She would have been like, ew. Ick.
Oh, yeah. If it was the roommate she'd been hooking up with earlier, she'd be like, ew, no, you're not. You're not doing it for me now.
That's the only way you can get away with all those things he's doing. He better be fine.
Oh, yeah. You have to be hot and rich, and then you can get away with anything.
Apparently. I guess. All right, so I guess we're going to end things there.
Yes.
We don't know what we're doing for our next book chat. We're going to figure it out. Yay. So you'll know when we know. Or not. You'll find out in the next episode. But, you know, join us on Patreon or someplace else. So you might find out early because, you know, we like to share stuff ahead of time when we can. And, I think that's it. We'll be announcing our next fantasy series soon. Very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Within the week of this airing. So if you really want to know ahead of time, chop, join us in all the places. That's it. We're going to call it a day. Thank you so much for listening to the entire episode. We appreciate you for doing that. And we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.